You've ever imagined what would happen if you did an exercise for just 1 minute every day for an entire month? Seems like too little time, right? But what if I told you that an ordinary person did exactly that, and the results were so impressive that even doctors were surprised? Today we're going to tell you the real story of someone who decided to do planks every day for 30 days, and what happened to her body will make you want to start right now. And look, we're not talking about hours at the gym. We're not talking about crazy diets. We're talking about 60 seconds a day. That's right, 1 minute. So stick with me until the end, because you're going to discover not only what changed in her body, but also how this can change your body and your life in a way you never imagined. It all started with a simple promise. She was tired of starting complicated workouts and quitting in the first week. You know that feeling? You get excited, buy new gym clothes, plan an entire routine, and after a few days you're already looking for excuses not to go. That's exactly what happened with her. But one day, browsing the internet, she found something different. A challenge that seemed too easy to be true. Do planks for just 1 minute every day for 30 days. She thought, well, I can do 1 minute, right? Anyone can. And that's when everything changed. On the first day, she could barely hold it for 20 seconds. Her whole body was shaking. Her arms felt like they were going to give up. Her breathing got heavy. She looked at the timer and thought, how can 20 seconds feel like an eternity? But she didn't give up. She finished the minute, even with breaks, and promised herself she would continue. And she continued. In the first 7 days, something interesting started to happen. Her body started to adapt. That unbearable trembling from the first days was gradually decreasing. On the 4th day, she managed to hold it for 30 seconds straight. On the 7th day, it was already 40 seconds without needing to rest. But the most impressive change wasn't just happening in strength. She noticed she was waking up with less back pain. You know that annoying little pain you feel when you get out of bed? That feeling of a stiff body? It had decreased a lot. She hadn't even realized she had this problem until it started to disappear. And this is a fascinating thing about planks. It works muscles we don't even know exist. The deep core muscles. Those that support the spine were getting stronger without her noticing. And with a more supported spine, the pain simply went away. But let's talk about the 2nd week, because that's when things got really interesting. On the 10th day, she looked in the mirror and noticed something different. Her posture had changed. She no longer had her shoulders dropped forward, that posture of someone who spends all day on their phone or computer. Her shoulders were more back, her chest more open, her spine more upright. And look, she hadn't done any specific posture exercises. It was all the result of planks. Because when you keep your body in a straight line for a minute, you're training your body to maintain that straight line all the time. It's as if the body learned a new way of positioning itself in space. And this isn't just aesthetic. No. Good posture completely changes how others see you and how you feel. She started to feel more confident, more present, stronger. People around her started making comments. You look different. Did you lose weight? No, she hadn't lost weight yet, but the better posture gave that impression. Now, you must be wondering, but what about the belly? Because let's be honest, most people want to do planks because of the belly, right? Everyone dreams of that defined abdomen, those abs showing. And look, I'm gonna be honest with you, in 2 weeks she didn't have a ripped six-pack. That would be a lie, and I'm not gonna lie to you. And here comes the big, but something was happening. Her belly was firmer. When she put her hand on her belly, it was no longer that feeling of softness, of flabbiness. There was a muscle tone that didn't exist before. And you know why? Because planks don't just work the superficial abdominal muscles, those that appear when you do traditional crunches. It mainly works the deep muscles, the transversus abdominis, which is like a natural belt that wraps around your entire waist. When this muscle gets strong, it literally pulls the belly inward, creating a narrower waist effect. And this was starting to happen to her. We reached the 3rd week, and here things started to get serious. On the 15th day, she managed to hold the plank for a full minute without stopping once. Imagine the feeling of victory. From 20 seconds on the first day to 60 seconds without a break on the 15th day. This is real, tangible progress that she could measure. But it wasn't just that. Her arms were visibly more defined. They weren't bodybuilder arms, but there was a muscular contour that didn't exist before. Her shoulders were more rounded, stronger. And look how curious, she wasn't doing any specific arm exercises. It was all from planks. Because when you do planks, you're not just working the core, you're supporting your entire body weight with your arms, with your shoulders, with your chest. It's an exercise that works the whole body in an integrated way. And this is much more efficient than doing isolated exercises for each muscle. But there's a change she didn't expect, and that might be the most important of all. Mental health. That's right. Planks were changing not only her body, but her mind too. She noticed she was more focused during the day, more patient with everyday situations, less anxious. And you know why? Because doing planks requires absurd concentration. You need to keep your body aligned, control your breathing, fight against discomfort without giving up. It's almost an active meditation. And every day, for a minute, she was practicing this mental discipline. She was training her brain not to give up when things get tough. And this overflowed into other areas of her life. She started to notice she was more persistent at work, more patient with people, more capable of dealing with stress. And there's more. Planks release endorphins, that happiness hormone. So after doing the exercise, she felt a sense of well-being that lasted for hours. Let's go to the final, on stretch, the last week of the challenge. On the 21st day, she decided to challenge herself even more. If 1 minute was getting easy, how about trying 1.5 minutes? And she did it. On the 25th day, 2 minutes. The body that was shaking at 20 seconds at the beginning could now withstand twice the time of the original challenge. But the most visible transformation was happening in the core region. Her belly was visibly flatter. It wasn't just firmness, it was real. Measurement reduction. She measured her waist on the first day and on the 27th day. You know how many centimeters she lost? 4 centimeters. 4 centimeters in less than a month doing just one exercise for 1 minute a day. That's more than many people achieve doing hours at the gym. And you know what's most impressive? She hadn't changed anything in her diet. She hadn't gone on a diet, hadn't cut carbs, hadn't counted calories. The only change was 1 minute of planks per day. On the 30th day, the last day of the challenge, she did something special. She decided to see how long she could hold the plank. She started the timer and went. 1 minute passed, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. When she finally stopped, she had completed 3 minutes and 42 seconds. Remember that on the first day she could barely do 20 seconds? From 20 seconds to over 3 minutes in 1 month. That's an increase of more than 1,000% in muscular endurance. But the numbers don't tell the whole story. What really changed was how she felt. Stronger, more confident, more capable. She had proven to herself that she was capable of committing to something and seeing it through to the end. That her body was capable of things she never imagined. That 1 minute a day really can transform everything. Now you must be thinking, okay, the story's inspiring, but what does this mean for me? It means you can do this too. You don't need expensive equipment. You don't need a gym. You don't need hours of free time. You need 1 minute, 60 seconds. Everyone has 60 seconds. You can do it in the morning before having coffee. You can do it at night before sleeping. You can do it during work breaks. There's no excuse. And if you're thinking it's too difficult, remember that she also found it difficult at the beginning. The first days are the worst. That's true. Your body will shake. Your muscles will burn. You'll want to give up. But that's exactly where the secret lies. Don't give up in the first days. Because after the first week, it gets easier. After 2 weeks, you're already seeing results. After a month, you're a different person. And look, let me tell you a secret she discovered. Planks aren't just an exercise, they're an anchor habit. You know what that is? It's a small habit that pulls other good habits along with it. When she started doing planks every day, without even realizing it, she started making other healthier choices. She started drinking more water because her body asked for it. She started paying more attention to her diet because she wanted to maximize results. She started sleeping better because her body was more tired in a good way. 1 minute of planks became the gateway to a healthier lifestyle. And that's powerful. Sometimes we think we need to change everything at once, make a radical transformation. But the truth is that big changes start with small, consistent actions. Let's talk science for a moment because it's important for you to understand what's happening in your body when you do planks. First, you're activating what experts call the anterior and posterior muscle chain. This means that from head to toe, practically all the muscles in your body are working to maintain that position. The core, obviously, is the protagonist. The rectus abdominis, the obliques, the transversus, all are contracted to the maximum. But the glutes are also activated, keeping the hips aligned. The quadriceps of the thighs are tense, preventing the legs from sinking. The shoulders are supporting weight. The arms are stabilizing. Even the neck muscles are working to keep the head in the right position. It's literally a full-body exercise disguised as an ab exercise. And there's more. Planks are what they call an isometric exercise. This means you're creating muscle tension without movement. And you know what's fascinating about isometric exercises? They teach muscles to work together in a coordinated way. In real life, we rarely use isolated muscles. When you pick up a heavy box from the floor, it's not just the biceps working, it's the whole body coordinating itself. Planks train exactly that, the body's ability to work as an integrated unit. And this translates into functional strength, that strength you use in everyday life. Climbing stairs becomes easier. Carrying groceries becomes easier. Playing with your kids becomes easier. Life becomes easier. Now, do you want to know how to do it correctly? Because there's no point in doing it wrong and hurting yourself, right? Here we go. Lie face down on the floor. Place your forearms on the floor, with your elbows aligned exactly under your shoulders. Lift your body, supporting only on your forearms and the tips of your toes. Your body needs to form a straight line from head to heels. Pay attention to this straight line. The most common mistake is letting the hips drop or rise too much. If the hips drop, you take tension off the core and overload the lower back. If they rise too much, you make the exercise easier and lose efficiency. So keep everything aligned. Another common mistake is forgetting to breathe. Breathe deeply, calmly, controlled. Don't hold your breath. And keep your gaze downward, looking at the floor between your hands. This keeps your neck aligned. If you look forward, you'll tense your neck and might end up with pain. And if you're starting and can't do 1 minute, no problem at all. Do 10 seconds. Rest. Do 10 more. Rest. Repeat until you complete 1 total minute. The important thing is to start. Over time, you'll naturally increase. And if even the traditional plank is difficult, you can start with easier variations. Do it supporting your knees on the floor instead of your feet. It's still effective, just a little easier. Or do the incline plank, supporting your hands on a table or couch instead of on the floor. The important thing is not to be ashamed to start at your level. Everyone starts, somewhere. The woman in our story started with 20 seconds shaking, and look where she got to. Let me tell you another incredible benefit she discovered that many people don't know. Planks improve spine health in a way that few exercises can. You know why? Because it strengthens the stabilizing muscles of the spine without putting pressure or impact on it. Exercises like running, for example, are great, but they have impact. Planks have no impact at all. You're strengthening all the muscles that support the spine in a safe way. And this is fundamental, especially for those who already have some back problems. Obviously, if you have any serious injury, consult a doctor first. But for the vast majority of people, planks are not only safe, but therapeutic. Herniated disc, scoliosis, chronic lower back pain, all these conditions can improve significantly with core strengthening. And planks are one of the best exercises for that. Let's talk about realistic results because I don't want to create false expectations. In 1 month doing planks every day, will you have visible results? Yes. Will you have a magazine six-pack? Probably not, unless you're already lean and have little body fat. Because here's the truth, everyone has abdominal muscles. What determines whether they show or not is the amount of fat that's covering them. Planks will strengthen and define these muscles, for sure. But if there's a layer of fat on top, you won't see them yet. For that, you need to combine with healthy eating and maybe aerobic exercises. But even if the muscles don't show yet, they're there, stronger, doing their job. and your belly will be firmer, flatter, even if the abs don't show yet. And about weight loss. Do planks burn calories? Yes. But let's be realistic. 1 minute of planks burns between 5 and 10 calories depending on your weight and intensity. It's not much, right? But here's the secret that few people understand. The benefit of planks for weight loss isn't in the calories burned during the exercise. It's in the increase in basal metabolism that happens when you gain muscle mass. Muscles burn calories even at rest. So the more muscles you have, the more calories you burn all day long, even when you're sleeping. Planks build muscles throughout the body. Over time, this increases your metabolism. And then yes, you start to lose weight more easily. It's a long-term investment. There's something I need to tell you that's fundamental. Consistency is worth more than intensity. It's better to do 1 minute every day than to do 10 minutes once a week. The body responds to repetition, to constancy. When you do it every day, you're sending a clear message to the body. We're doing this now. Adapt. And the body adapts. It gets stronger, more resistant, more efficient. But if you only do it occasionally, the body doesn't understand it needs to adapt. Each time feels like the first time. So make a commitment to yourself. 30 days. 1 minute a day. No exceptions. It doesn't matter if you're tired, if you don't have time, if you don't feel like it. 1 minute. You always have 1 minute. And after 30 days, you decide if it's worth continuing. But I bet you'll want to continue. You know what's coolest about this whole story? You don't need to believe me. You can simply test it. 30 days. Take a photo today from the front, side, and back. Do planks every day for 1 minute. On the 30th day, take the same photos. Compare. You'll see the difference with your own eyes. You'll feel the difference in your body. In the back that doesn't hurt anymore. In the posture that improved. In the strength that increased. In the confidence that grew. And then you'll understand that I wasn't exaggerating. That 60 seconds a day really can change everything. But look, I need to be honest with you about something. The first days are going to be difficult. I won't sugarcoat it. You'll shake, you'll sweat, you'll feel like giving up. On the 3rd or 4th day, you'll wake up with sore muscles and you'll think, is it worth it? It's exactly at that moment that most people quit. Don't be most people. This discomfort is temporary. It lasts a few days. Then it passes. And what remains is the result. If you quit in the first days, you'll only have the discomfort and no result. But if you persist, the discomfort passes and the result stays. So when you're there, shaking in the plank, thinking about quitting, remember this conversation. Remember the woman who started with 20 seconds shaking and ended up doing almost 4 minutes. You can do it. Everyone can. And let me give you a precious tip that can make all the difference. Don't do it alone. Call someone to do it with you. A friend, family member, co-worker. Do the 30-day challenge together. Send photos to each other every day confirming you did it. Create a WhatsApp group. Share the difficulties and victories. You know why? Because having someone to be accountable to makes all the difference. When you're just with yourself, it's easy to make excuses. But when you know someone is waiting for your confirmation, you go there and do it. It's basic psychology, but it works incredibly well. And at the end of 30 days, you'll not only have the physical results, but you'll also have strengthened a friendship. You'll have shared a journey. That's valuable. There's a phrase I really like that sums all this up. It's not the big gestures that change lives. It's the small actions repeated with consistency. 1 minute seems like nothing, but 1 minute every day for a month is 30 minutes. It's 30 times you chose to do something good for yourself. It's 30 times you defeated laziness, lack of time, excuses. And these 30 small victories create momentum, create confidence, create a better version of you. Planks are just the beginning. They're the gateway. But what's on the other side of that door is a healthier, stronger, fuller life. So let's recap everything you learned here today. An ordinary person, without any special physical preparation, did planks for 1 minute every day for 30 days. In the first days, she could barely do 20 seconds. She had pain, discomfort, wanted to give up. But she persisted. In the first week, back pains started to improve. In the second week, posture changed visibly. In the third week, arms started to define, and muscular endurance increased exponentially. In the fourth week, belly was firmer and flatter. She had lost 4 centimeters from her waist, and mental strength had grown along with physical strength. On the 30th day, she could hold the plank for almost 4 minutes, more than 10 times the time of the first day. And all this with just 1 minute a day of an exercise that can be done anywhere, without equipment, without excuses. And now it's your turn. Are you going to keep watching videos about transformation, or are you going to start your own transformation? Because information without action doesn't change anything. You already have all the information you need. You know how to do it. You know what to expect. You know it works. The only missing ingredient is you deciding to start. And this is the moment. Not tomorrow. Not Monday. Not next year. Now. When this video ends, lie on the floor and do your first plank, even if it's 10 seconds. Start. And then come back here and tell me in the comments how many seconds you managed. I want to know. Actually, if you're already doing planks, tell me how long you can hold it too. Let's create a community of people who are challenging themselves, transforming themselves, proving that 1 minute can change everything. And if this video inspired you, if you felt that fire ignite inside you, show it. Leave a like, because this helps me reach more people who need to hear this message. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next videos where we'll continue bringing real transformation stories and practical tips that really work. And share this video with that person you know is looking for a way to start taking care of their health but doesn't know where to start. You might be the little push they need. Send it to the family group, the friends group, on social media. Let's spread this message. Let's show that transformation doesn't need to be complicated, doesn't need to be expensive, doesn't need to take hours of your day. 1 minute, 60 seconds. That's all. You need to start. And now tell me, are you going to start today? Are you going to accept the 30-day challenge? Comment down below. Let's do this.